Students, today we are going to start with a new chapter, a new topic, that is animal tissue. Now in this chapter we are going to learn about different tissues like epithelial tissue and their types, and also the basic introduction of the topic. Also you can see on the present slide, you can see the cells which are similar, forming a tissue, forming an organ, and finally an organism, which is understood that the tissue means common cells having a similar structure and function. They form a similar tissue, so that similar tissue forms organ, and the organ forms the organ system, and finally the organism. So the first slide, it shows exactly what is there in the current chapter. Clear? Now, further, little additional information, number of cells. Now, all of you know we have got cells, tissue, organ, etc. Different organs have the different types of cell. But how many cells? So you can see here, number of cells in human body is 37.2 trillion cells. How much? 37.2 trillion cells overall. Clear? Introduction. Tissue is a group of cells having same embryonic origin, structure and function. So what is a tissue? Cells which are having a same embryonic origin, structure and function, which forms a tissue. And just as I mentioned, that this tissue forms organ system and the organism, right? Further, various tissues combine together in an orderly manner to form large functional unit called organs. These organs combine together to form organ system. The cells are of two types, somatic and germ cells. So as mentioned, the cells forming tissue, tissue forming the organ system, and finally the organism. Now these cells can be put into two types. Which are the two types? Somatic and germ cells. In simple words, the term somatic means the body cells, germ cells means the reproductive cells, which we are going to learn further. So next point, the word somatic is derived from the Greek word soma, means body. All the body cells of an organism except sperm and ova are somatic cells. The sperm and ova are germ cells. They belong to reproductive system. Clear? Now again I have given a small chart to get an idea about what you are learning. That is cell which forms a tissue, tissue forming organ system in the body, what we saw in the first slide. Similarly, now coming from the right to left, cells, tissues, organ system, organism, right? So we can see how it is formed in all, right? Again I given some additional information so that it becomes easier for to understand. So always the images, diagram, figures in biology helps us to understand the concept more clearly. So you can see the figure onto the left side top, human cell, where you can see nucleus, where DNA is present, cell membrane, mitochondria, right? And below again, just as I read out, the 3.7 into 10 raised to 3, that is, can say the number of cells present in the human body, or 37 and 12 zeros, correct? Approximate number of cells in the human body. Towards the right, the different types of human cells, which are those like the motor neuron nerve cell, the RBC, that is red blood cell, WBC, white blood cell or the white blood corpuscles, cells in the inner lining of the intestine, the bone cell, the sperm and the ovum, which both are the germ cell, and all others are the body cells or the somatic cells. Again, another image to make the concept more clear, that is, if you see the human organism, you have got sperm cell and the egg, in case of male and female. Other than those, kidney, liver, bone, lung, brain, blood, heart, muscles, pancreas. So the different organs present. So in the previous slide we saw the cells. Here we are seeing the organs, right? Again, histology. What is histology? The study of structure and arrangement of tissues is called histology. So, the type of structure, the arrangement or study of structure and arrangement of a tissue is called histology. There are four types of tissue present in animals: epithelium or epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. Right? Now, in this lecture or today's part, we are going to learn the first part in detail, that is the epithelial tissue. So I divided the chapter into three parts: epithelial in today's part, connective tissue in the next lecture, and muscular and nervous as the third part of the chapter. Clear? Now know the scientist. Marie Francois Xavier Bichet in from 1771 to 1802, French anatomist and pathologist, discovered tissue. So who discovered tissue? Marie Francois Xavier Bichet. He was known as father of histology. So I put the image of Xavier Bichet as well, that is father of, who is the father of histology. And similarly on the right side, again I have put images of the four types which are going to learn: epithelial from right, then connective, muscular, nervous. See all the four tissues we will be learning in this chapter, and today's part the epithelial tissue. Further, now again, like the previous chapters, here also I put a chart where you can learn the entire chapter in one page, or you can revise the chapter. So you can see here types of tissue, the four types: epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous. In epithelial, you got simple epithelial tissue and compound epithelial tissue. Again simple, you have got squamous epithelium, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular, sensory and germinal epithelial tissue. Whereas in compound, the second type of epithelial tissue, again there are two types: stratified and translational. So today we are going to learn these two types, simple and compound, and in that in all the 9 types. Clear? Further, also the second type which we will be learning later, that is connective tissue, where you got connective tissue proper, dense connective tissue, supporting connective tissue, fluid connective tissue. Also in connective tissue proper, you have got areolar, that is fibers, white fiber and yellow fiber. Cells, four types are there: fibroblast, mast cells, or I usually pronounce it mast cells, so you can remember very easily. Macrophages, adipocytes, and then second type adipose tissue, white adipose tissue, brown adipose tissue. Dense connective tissue, example tendons and ligaments. Supporting connective tissue, you got cartilage. Again you got hyaline, elastic, fibro, calcified. Bones, spongy and compact. Whereas in fluid connective tissue, blood, lymph. Muscular tissue, again the third type, you have got skeletal, smooth and cardiac. Three types are there, but again remember the other names which will help you to differentiate. Like skeletal is also called as striated muscles because of presence of striations. Voluntary muscle because it functions on our will. Second type, smooth, otherwise called as non-striated, no striations are present. And third, that is third name, involuntary, which is not under our control. And the third type of muscular tissue is the cardiac muscle. From the name cardiac, it is present in the heart region. And fourth is the nervous tissue. So this is the slide where you can learn and revise the entire chapter. Clear? Moving further. Now we go into detail about the epithelial tissue. As I mentioned, this part of the chapter we learn epithelial tissue and their types. So here epithelial tissue, epi means above, thelium layer of the cells. Okay. First point, epithelial tissue forms a covering on inner and outer surface of the body organ. That is why the name epi, above or the outer part. So it forms which part of the body? Inner and outer surface of body and organs. The cells of this tissue are compactly arranged with little intracellular matrix. So it is very closely packed, we can say, or closely arranged. So there is no need of matrix substances as it fits within each other. Next point, cells rest on non-cellular basement membrane. So it does not have a cellular basement membrane but a non-cellular one. Next, cells are polygonal cuboidal or columnar in shape. So the different shapes are present in epithelial tissue. Which are those? Either it can be polygonal or cubical shape or columnar shape, means column type. Further, single nucleus is present at the center or at the base. So each of this cell has got one nucleus which is at the basal part, as the lower end. Then this tissue is avascular. What does that mean? Avascular means they don't have any attachment of capillaries or blood vessels, etc. Further, it has good capacity of regeneration, means if any part of the tissue gets damaged, it can regenerate. Major function is protection, and it also helps in absorption, transport, filtration and secretion. So what are the important function of it? Absorption, transport, filtration and secretion. Further, epithelial tissue is classified into two types: simple epithelium made up of single layer of cells, compound epithelium made up of two or more layer of cells. Means in simple it is made up of single layer, whereas in compound there are two, three or more than two layers. Lowermost layers lies on the basement membrane. So if it is one layer, two layer, three layer, but the lower layer is always on a basement membrane. That's why again we can see the image which I have provided over here. Can see the simple one, the simple epithelium, just one single layer sheet like part. Simple cuboidal, cubical shape, columnar, column shape. Again there's a basement membrane, or we also learn here another type, pseudo stratified. Pseudo means false type, which may be not exactly column shape, maybe slightly zigzag shape or not linearly arranged. Further, stratified squamous. So you can see here the squamous epithelium, we are having more than one layer, keratinized stratified squamous epithelial layer, or stratified columnar layer, stratified cuboidal layer, and then transitional layer. So even in stratified type there are different types present, but as I mentioned in the previous slide, we have to learn the different types of epithelial tissue, and in that simple and cuboidal type. Clear? Further, now we come to the individual type, simple epithelial tissue, that is squamous epithelium tissue, the first type in the simple. That is, cells of these tissues are flat, thin, polygonal with serrated margin. Now from first point it is very clear, and the image which I have provided, we can see cells are flat, they are thin, polygonal shape. What does polygon means? More than 4 or 5 sides, right? With serrated margin, means if you see the edges, they are zigzag, right? Like a saw like edges. Further, cell of this tissue fit together like tiles of footpath, hence it is called as pavement epithelium. Now all of you walk around, right? So when you walk around on the footpath, you can see different tiles, right? Every now and then, maybe in 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, the BMC people, they change the tiles. But if you notice that they don't put any cement on the top, or like when you make wall, in between bricks cement is put, right? But here they don't put anything, just you may have different shapes. These shapes fit into each other only. As we here you can see basement membrane, so on the basement membrane they put the cemented part, and then on the top they fit in the different tiles which have different shapes, and they exactly fit in without any cement in it, right? Okay, so that's why, because it is appearance and how it is arranged, it is also called as pavement epithelium, right? Further, prominent spherical or oval nucleus is present in the center. So either the nucleus is spherical or oval in shape. Function: protection, absorption, transport, filtration and secretion. So it protects, it helps in absorption, helps in transportation, help in filtration, also secretion. Next, it is found in blood vessels, alveoli and coelom, that is of the body cavity, etc. Clear? And again, as I told, the figure where you can see apical surface, nucleus, basement membrane or basolateral surface. Clear? Now moving further, Second type, cuboidal epithelium. Again from the name, cubical shape, right? So in this tissue, the cells are cuboidal in shape with a spherical nucleus at the center. So again, if you see it very clearly, the cubical shape, in the cube there is nucleus present which is at the center and it is spherical in shape. What is the function? Absorption and secretion. It is found in the lining of pancreatic duct, salivary duct, proximal and distal convoluted tubule of the nephron. That is where it is present in the body. Again, see the image, presence of nucleus, connective tissue, basement membrane and the cytoplasm. Okay. Then third, columnar epithelium, like column shape, which you can see in the image. So columnar epithelium cells are tall, pillar like, you can see in the image. Inner ends of these cells are narrow while free ends are broad and flat. So you can see how the appears, they are narrow but the free ends are broad and flat. Free surface shows large number of microvilli, that is at the anterior end, at the upper end we can see hair like structure. What is that? Microvilli. Nucleus oval in shape and it is present in the lower part of the cell. What is the function? Secretion and absorption. Where it is present or found? In the inner lining of intestine, gallbladder, gastric gland and the intestinal glands. Okay. Further, ciliated epithelium. Cells of this tissue are cuboidal or columnar. So here the shapes are either cubical or column shape. So both types are present. Free ends of these cells are broad while narrow ends rest on the basement membrane. So here also there is free end like cuboidal and they have got the narrow end which is present on the basement membrane. Free ends show hair-like part called cilia. In case of cuboidal, what it was? Microvilli, right? Brush border. Here it is cilia. Now again, you have come across the term cilia in the previous chapters, right? Now further, nucleus is oval in shape and placed at the basal end of the cell. So see the shape of the nucleus, oval, and it is at the lower end or the basal end. What is the function? To create a movement of materials in contact in specific direction and thus able to prevent entry of foreign particles in the trachea, push the ovum through oviduct. It is found in the inner lining of buccal cavity of frog, the nasal cavity, trachea, oviduct of vertebrates. That is which part of the body it is present. Okay, again if you see the figure or the diagram, you can see cilia, the basal granule, cell membrane, goblet cell, nucleus and the basement membrane. Moving further, fifth type, that is glandular epithelium. Here the cells may be columnar, cuboidal or pyramid in shape. So you can see three types of shapes are present: column shape, cubical shape and even pyramid shape. Okay, further, nucleus is large and situated towards the base. Secretory granules are present in the cytoplasm. The glands may be unicellular, that is goblet cell, or multicellular, which is salivary gland, depending on the number of cells. So depending on cells, it can be what? Unicellular, single cell, it is goblet cell of the intestine, or multicellular, which is in the salivary gland, which secretes what? Saliva. So depending on the mode of secretion, multicellular glands can be classified as duct-bearing glands, that is exocrine gland, and ductless gland, that is endocrine gland. So you have got exocrine and endocrine glands. What does that mean? Which has got duct and ductless. Now what is that again? Duct, you can remember in a simple way. Duct means the small tube-like structure is present through which the secretion comes into the particular region. Ductless gland means there is no tube present and the secretion from the endocrine glands, they directly enter into the bloodstream. Okay. Further, exocrine glands pour the secretions at a specific site. Example, salivary gland, sweat gland, etc. Endocrine gland releases this secretion directly into the specific stream. That's why I just answered exocrine, for example, saliva or sweat. Now you can see sweat during the summer season. Usually we sweat, our skin becomes watery because of the sweat when you do lot of activities, physical activity or exercise, etc. Right? Then, whereas in the endocrine gland, directly the secretion is into the bloodstream. The best example being the glands, thyroid gland, pituitary gland, etc. Function: secrete the mucus that trap the dust particles, lubricates the inner surface of the respiratory and digestive tract, secretion of enzymes and hormones. Very simple to remember, as it is glandular epithelium, that is gland, so they secrete enzyme and hormones, right? Again, if you see the figure, microvilli, mucus, cytoplasm, goblet cell, nucleus, cell membrane, absorptive cell and the basement membrane. For the sixth type, there is sensory epithelium. It is composed of modified form of columnar cells and elongated neurosensory cells. Sensory hairs are present at the free end of the cell. Function: it pursues external as well as internal stimuli. Now what does that mean? Pursue means in simple words it can receive the stimuli, external or internal, means whatever stimulus is present in the surrounding region, either by sight, that is by vision, or by hearing, or by smell, or by taste, or by touch. As you know, five senses which are present. Now these are found where? In this region of senses: nose, that is olfactory; ear, auditory; the hair cells, eye, photoreceptors. Again you can see the image: olfactory bulb, cribriform plate, epithelium, onto the right side olfactory tract, mitral cell, axon, supporting cell, receptor cells, dendrite and cilia. Now moving further, the seventh type in simple epithelium, that is germinal epithelial tissue. 2 points are there, that is, cells of this epithelium divide meiotically to produce haploid gametes. Now as we just learned in the beginning of the chapter, there is germ cell and somatic cell. Somatic cells are the body cells, so they always divide by mitosis. Now whereas the ova and the sperm, the germ cells, they always divide by meiosis. So what is mitosis, meiosis? We will learn in detail in the chapter cell division. Here in simple way to remember, mitosis, the body cell or the somatic cell is divided, whereas meiosis, the reproductive cell or the germ cells gets divided. Clear? Further, where it is present, lining of the seminiferous tubules, inner lining of the ovary. So here I provide two images, that is the TS of human testis, and second one is structure of ovary. So in order to understand where the meiotic division takes place, that is in the ova and the testis, the sperm and the ova. Clear? Further, second type, that is compound epithelium. The first type was simple, in that we learned just now 7 types. So in compound, 2 types are there. One is stratified epithelium. Nucleus is present in stratum germinatum. Cells at free surface becomes flat and lack nucleus called stratum corneum. So here we come across 2 terms. This nucleus is present in stratum germinatum, whereas cells which free surface becomes flat and lack nucleus, stratum corneum. Function is what? Protection. Example: epidermis of the skin, esophagus, cornea, vagina, rectum, etc. Again you can see in the image stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, stratum basilae. That is depending on which part it is present. Further, the second type in the compound one, transitional epithelium. Structure of the transitional epithelium is same like stratified, means stratified and transitional are similar type of structure. The cells can undergo a change in the shape and structure depending on the degree of stretch, means wherever whenever there is a stretch or a pull where there is extension, then it can undergo the stretch depending on how much or till what degree it is or what extent it is. What is the function then? Distension of organ. So here the best example being urinary bladder. So again in transition epithelium we can see apical surface, nucleus, basal surface, basement membrane which has got basal lamina and reticular lamina. Then we got one more part, that is cell junction. What is cell junction? The epithelial cells are connected to each other laterally as well as to the basement membrane by junctional complex called cell junction. So what is cell junction? The epithelial cells connected to each other laterally as well as from the basement membrane. Here, if you see in the image provided, we have got types of cell junction. So even in that types are there. Which are the types? So first we'll read out the types. Tight junction, hemidesmosomes, desmosomes, gap junction and adherent junction. So 5 types are there. So we'll take one by one. First one, tight junction, or in short TJs, right? So these junction maintain cell polarity, prevent lateral diffusion of proteins and ions, which is the function of tight junction. What is it? Cell polarity, prevention of lateral diffusion of proteins and ions. Second type, hemidesmosomes, HD, allows the cells to strongly adhere to the underlying basement membrane, means get attached. So these maintain tissue homeostasis by signaling to maintain the environment. Third, desmosomes, DS. These provide mechanical strength to epithelial tissue, that is cardiac muscle and meninges. Fourth type, adherents, that is adherent junctions, AJ. It is involved in various signaling pathways and transcriptional regulations to maintain signaling pathways and transcriptional regulation. Fifth one, gap junction, GJ. This intercellular connection allows passage of ions called small molecules between cells as well as exchange of chemical messages between them. So what is the simple way? Exchange of chemical messages between the cells, or connection allows passage of ions and small molecules between the cells. Clear? Okay. So that is the last slide, and we are assignment question based on what we are learned today. Clear? The remaining parts, connective tissue, muscular and nervous, will be learning in the next part. Thank you all of you.